didn't want to end up being a single mom of two tiny babies. Tiny. I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant.
Maya was separated from her squad in the recap of tonight's Station 19 series finale. There was flames all around her. She started to imagine her life since she thought she would die, how it might have happened. She imagined herself being present when Karina went into labor. She considered becoming pregnant with her third kid just to have the experience of giving birth. She reflected on what an incredible life she was missing out on, and it turned out she was being gloomy. There was a helicopter flying overhead. He dumped a large amount of water on the place. It saved Maya's life. She could live the life she wanted without fear of death. Not just now, anyhow. She had her group. The remaining firefighters were shut off from them. In addition to the communication system being down, there was a fire tornado in motion, which made things worse. None of them had before witnessed an actual fire tornado. Actually, Montgomery was the first to notice. He and Dominic and Kate were over at the resort area. The fire tornado was visible to them. Kate was trying to be warned. The commotion prevented her from hearing them. She was struck by the fire tornado and was instantly killed. Their water line was ripped apart by the tornado. They failed to put it out. They were unable to escape it. They were limited to wrap themselves with sheeting that would not catch fire. They were forced to wait for the flames to go out. It was witching hour for them. Because of the heavy winds that day, it was the worst time of day for fires. Eventually, the fire tornado passed. Andy was unable to be found when they checked on everyone. When they had all covered themselves, Andy was among them. She was just nowhere to be found when they emerged. Ben was not with his team and could not assist them in finding Andy. He'd driven Theo to the medical facility. As he was returning, he learned that one of the two people who were trapped in a fire was pregnant. Ben had Karina accompany him. That baby was delivered by the side of the road. Karina was pregnant, thus going out there was a danger for her. She shouldn't be stressing herself out right now because she was still in the early stages of her pregnancy. While holding the baby, Karina envisioned herself with Maya after a few years and has 3 kids. She doesn't want to ruin that dream, so she needs to be safe and be back and tell Maya that she is pregnant. Andy was the main reason why the firefighters were able to limit the fire. Andy collapsed against a wall. She passed across the trees that were on fire. Perhaps she inhaled too much of that stuff, and she was rushed to the hospital. The team went with Andy and tracked on her. They don't want to lose another captain due to the fire, just like Andy's father. They just couldn't handle another loss, so they just stayed on Andy's side. At the hospital, Ben and Karina bumped into the rest of the Station 18 team. Karina finally announced her pregnancy to Maya throughout their time together. Although they were both quite thrilled, Andy's situation is serious. She inhaled a lot of smoke. She didn't think about her future life when she slept. Rather, she turned her gaze back to her happiest memory. It was involving Jack. Later at the hospital, she wakes up. Now that she was aware of her mistakes, she was grinning. Work was never a reason for her to give up on Jack, and that was no longer an obstacle for them. 3 months later, Seattle was recovering from the wildfire. Vic was given a farewell party by Station 19. Theo appeared. As he was getting better, Andy extended an offer for him to take a new position at the station. He was an excellent firefighter, she claimed. Andy was losing 2 firefighters, so she also needed to bolster her team. Vic was slipping away from her, and she was losing Ben too. Ben was heading back to focus on being a doctor. He practiced medicine. He's got 3 children. Every time he went outside to fight a fire, he didn't want his family to be concerned about him. It was safer with him as a doctor. And when Montgomery decided to go with Vic, it took everyone by surprise. Their friendship was the best. Anywhere she was, that was his life. Additionally, he departed with her since he didn't want her to start over without him. Maya resumed her role as Station 19's captain. Andy was appointed fire chief. They were both able to fulfill their aspirations. It only required a few years.
Want more queer content? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell.